I don't believe in this thing called, well, you must be a creative person. No, here's the thing about it. We're all creative people. We all have that gene or that thing inside of us that's going, yeah, ooh, we got to create something. It doesn't matter what your place of business is. It doesn't matter what your lifestyle is. There's always a source of creative energy moving through you. The question is, do you have a relationship with it? Unplugged, because we will always say yes to creativity, totally uncut, because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Have you caught people singing out loud lately? Not because they have earbuds in, but being out there on the front lines, I'm noticing people are starting to whistle again. And, you know, I'd like to know the psychology behind that. I don't know if they've created an atmosphere of protection around themselves, that if they hear their own music, it allows them to find their own calm, their own peace. But I'm noticing a lot of people just go, da 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 da, or they're whistling. I'm not a good whistler, so I'm not going to go there, but I do pop some gum, though. And that right there would really kind of get me the backhand of my dad's fist. He'd just bop me in the head and say, stop that. Stop popping your gum. If that gum was meant to pop, it would say it on the package. But Dad, it says it's bubble gum. Come on, dude. Come on. Although he may not be here in physical form, I love him. To say I loved him, no, that's past. I love him so much. Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. Things happen around each and every one of us, and I believe that we should all be learning from the moments and the atmospheres that we walk into, around, underneath, and above. And the lessons are there. We're just ignoring it. But if you take the time to listen, to kind of maybe take some notes, all of a sudden you're going to go, wow, it's always been there? Yeah, it really has been. This is The Daily Mess. Very serious subject today. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is not to have political conversation or to bring a Debbie Downer moment here. That I don't want to do that. But I think that we should talk about it. And because nobody else is. What they're doing is they're saying these other newsworthy things, but they're not talking about the realness of it all and what the after effects could actually be. But how does the world prepare? How does the world prepare? The headlines today. Russia is building up its own forces again. They're bringing up the reservists, 300,000 of them. And there's that leader again of Russia making that big threat. I will use nuclear bombs. Oh, God. Now, is this propaganda? Because if it is, it's a very dangerous tool. As are news outlets that tend to lean on the idea of adding a little scare to the story. But nobody really knows how the leader of that global power is planning out his next ambition. How does the world prepare? And what if? We can't say that about a pandemic. What if? Because we've already gone through it. A lot of people lost their lives. I lost my mother. Very sad. Very sad. At this stage of the game, should anyone waste so much energy just worrying about it? There's a reason why they called it the Cold War. For decades, our parents and their parents had to live in a very complicated mess of uncertainty. I'm not wanting this to locate answers or second guess what I can't control. It's all part of this letter that I'm writing. Dear future reader, to whom I'll never get to know. But at least they'll have the planted ink stains on a page so giving. Moments in an age with so much challenge and change. How does the world prepare? How are you preparing? What are you looking for in this chaotic mess that we're all in? Or are you like my master in martial arts who said, can you control the situation? No, move on. Is that how we have to do this? We have to move on. I've got a very, very good friend who is currently in Ukraine. You can listen to the podcast that we create. It's called American Journalist in Ukraine, Joe Lindsley. The man has no fear. I was just talking to his father the other day, and he goes, he says, I was against him being over there, but when I'm seeing what he's doing and the reports that he's coming out here with, nobody else is doing it. He knows exactly what he needs to be doing. How does the world prepare? You got the Joe Lindsleys. You got people who are in there going, hey, look, this is the real story. I'm going to show you the real people. I'm going to show you the real reaction. And you're not going to depend on propaganda. It's like playing the telephone game. Every time we hear the story and we want to share the story, a little bit of it is bent. It's bent because we don't have the actual story. And there was one time where I actually trusted myself to pick up a news story and then about an hour and a half later to write about that news story, what I interpreted in that newscaster's story. And I went back to it and I had it all wrong. What they were quoting inside that story wasn't what I put down on paper. No, I was wrong, which opened up my eyes when it comes to sharing news in this age. We hear something, but we're hearing what we want to hear, and then we go out and we talk about what we just heard. Not all of us get it right. Therefore, we're affecting other people. We got to fact check. We got to make sure we're telling the story the right way. Because if that guy over there decides he's going to use bigger bombs, how does the world prepare? Heavy subject. But it's time that we start preparing. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.